Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming into my children's disaster of a room. This room has gotten completely out of hand. This is my two youngest boys, Jack, who's 9, and my youngest, Angelo, who is 5. They share a room, and they happen to share the smallest room. So this closet is really not even big enough for one, let alone two. We make do with the bunk beds, but the second things get a little bit out of control in here, it's just all downhill from there. And we are at the point of no return. So sending the kids in here to clean up is just, there's no point, because it needs to be completely ripped apart, cleaned up, and then put back together. So that's what we're doing today, and I hope you're here for it. I'm going to give you a little backstory on this room, but just for starters, before I do anything else, I'm getting their beds stripped, and I'm going to get blankets and sheets being washed, so that could be done while I am tackling this room. But this was actually Jack's nursery. So when we made him his nursery, we knew we were going to go with Yankees. And I wanted something, I figured the longevity of baseball would last them a few years. And thankfully, all our boys are major baseball fans. So this room is great. It's grown with them. My oldest son shared this room with Jack when my youngest was born. And then we flipped, and my oldest went back into his room. And now Angelo, when he was old enough, now shares this room with Jack. And my husband painted that whole room. He did those pinstripes painstakingly. He made those pinstripes on the wall. And that's a tip. Even, I know this is a decluttering and organizing kids room video, but if, when you're doing your nursery, I remember with my first and my second, I did all like the little cutesy stuff, and, the little frogs and the bright colors and all of that. And I love all of that. But when you're having multiple kids and you see that the longevity of the decor in a room doesn't last, that's when we decided, let's try to do things that we think can go a little bit further. And thankfully, Jack and Angelo have the baseball room. My oldest son has a football room. And my daughter's another story. But anyway, okay, so we're back in this room. We are getting out anything in here that is unnecessary. They don't need that heater anymore. Thankfully, fingers crossed. Getting out things that I have in the closet. I have a lot of, memento stuff, pictures, things that I don't want to get rid of. And I've been just kind of overflowing in these little bins in their closet, and it's just, there's no reason why that stuff has to be in here, and there's no room for it anyway, and that's, it's just taking up too much space. So I am taking all of that stuff out and putting everything that's not coming back in this room in the hallway. There was a few costumes in this closet, a few toys on the floor, that needed to get put back in the playroom and that sort of thing. So that's how I'm starting out, just getting everything that does not need to be in this room out of this room. And then, it's actually still sitting in my hallway right now because I need to get more bins, but at least it's out of their room. And I was able to go ahead and, organize this closet, because this closet is tiny. It's hardly big enough for one, let alone two. But we're going to make it work. So I'm getting those bins out. Some of them I'm going to be reusing. Some of them I'm going to be swapping out for others. But yeah, this is the storm before the calm. It's just, there's just stuff everywhere, and it can seem super overwhelming. Yeah, this is the stuff I brought outside that I do not want to come back in. So I think I'm telling you that right now, but I'm talking over myself. So coming back in here, that just felt good. Just getting the stuff out that I knew didn't need to be in here was a major first step. now I'm going through their bins that everything was kind of mixed together, their shorts and stuff. So I'm separating Angelo's and Jack's into their own separate bins. And I'm going through their closets and I'm getting out anything that's too big, anything that's too small, anything that I know they're never going to wear. I'm only putting back in here things that are potentially could be worn in the next few months. I mean, these long sleeves are probably never going to get worn, let's be honest. But, you know, I didn't want to get rid of everything, and I did want to keep a few things. So Angelo's I always have Angelo up top because he's the one who needs help the most anyway getting dressed. And then Jack's stuff I like to hang on the bottom so that he can get to it easier. And same thing with him, going through anything that's too big, too small. I have a garbage bag. I have a donate bag. I have a give to our friends bag. And everything is going in a pile. It's either going into one of those bags or it's going back into the closet. Decided to fold their sweatshirts and put them on this shelf because this is something that they access regularly, especially now with warm, hot days and chilly nights. So putting that in an area where they are able to get to, and swapping out some older bins with some more older bins. But it's okay, it works for now. And this is Angelo's dresser. He uses the taller dresser, and I put all their, usually his t-shirt, his tees, long sleeve shirts, the bottom drawer, houses, pants, jeans, that sort of thing. He has so many, my kids have so many t-shirts, so many t-shirts. I mean, Jack's sports shirts, I can probably have a whole dresser of that alone. So I was really trying to wean through things that I know, shirts that I know they didn't wear or that was too big or too small. And swapping the laundry, and it's funny, it's like mother's intuition. It's like laundry intuition. I didn't even hear a ding or anything. I knew that I had a feeling on the inside that the laundry needed to be switched. So went downstairs and yep, lo and behold, there was a minute left. So getting that going, getting the sheets in the dryer and the blankets in the wash, and we are back upstairs. And just his PJ drawers was pretty good. I had recently gone through that. His pant drawer on the bottom was pretty good. And I decided to leave them in there just because I didn't need that drawer. And if I didn't have to put them away in a bin, would rather have not, because there's still days when, you know, they need to wear pants because weather here is always up and down. So now we're on to Jack's dresser, and he just has so many t-shirts, and I swear he grabs for like the same 3 or 4 every single day. So just weeding through the things that I think that he's not going to wear, too big or too small, things that I can put into Angelo's drawer, because even if they're a little bit big for him, I'm still putting t-shirts in there. It's fine. So going through that. And I toyed with getting the drawer dividers, those dividers that make the shirts look nice and kind of in their little rows. But I don't know. I didn't do that. I'm going to see. Jack does a pretty decent job of keeping his t-shirts in order. I don't know that those, I mean, I know they look really pretty in the drawer, but I don't know. We'll see. That was a hold off purchase, so maybe I'll do that in the future, but this is a process. This is something that I'm never jumping to do. It's never like on the top of my, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to get in there and rip their room apart. But it was already ripped apart and needed to be done. And it's just necessary things that it's going to inevitably make my life easier. And in the end, because I'm the one who needs to find everything. So, right? If it's, what's that saying? If it's lost, Mom, if mom can't find it, it's lost, right? Because we know where everything is. So it's things are easier on me when they're organized and put where they need to be. But these hat hangers have worked out so nicely, and I'm putting more up right now because I like them so much. These hats are, if they weren't hanging on the wall, they'd be all over the floor and all over their closets. And those have worked out so great. It's just got the little 3M kind of sticky on the one side, and you just put it on and the hats stay on no problem. I really love those. And I have some blankets here that are sentimental baby blankets, sleeping bags that the kids don't regularly use. So I'm just putting it into these bags, and I'm going to put on the top of their closet, just in case we need to reach for them. And now I'm under the bed getting all this out. This is where they keep a lot of their little toys that they like to have in their room, some excess books. We keep some learning games in here because sometimes at night, instead of reading a book, we'll play a little game, before bed. So these I like to keep under the bed. We just kind of got everything cleaned up back in their spots. And this little thing in the corner, I don't love it here, but it works right now. It's filled with baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards, and books. So that's just, I'm just going to leave it there right now. It's kind of out of sight, and it's a good place for them to store all their baseball cards. And giving everything a dust, getting everything wiped down now that we have pretty much everything where it needs to be. And if there's anything in this room that you see that you're curious to know where I got it from, if you're thinking of doing your little guys' rooms, baseball themed, a nursery, or you're transitioning your little ones into a kind of a bigger boy room, like I said, this was my 9-year-old's nursery. This is how it started off. So a lot of the things in this room were purchased, then. So if there is anything you're curious about, please just comment, and I'll definitely, think back and see if I can remember where I got it from. A few newer things in here, like I'm going to show you towards the end of the video. I'm going to do a little area where they can kind of hang up their uniforms and stuff for game day. That was a new thing that I added into the room. But pretty much everything else in here, with the exception of the hat hooks, has been in here since Jack was a baby, which I can't even believe was 9 years ago. But anyway, now I'm getting some of these stickers that they just love to put on everything off. I don't know why. Why do they have to do this? Why? Why can't they just put it on a piece of paper? Seriously. I'm trying to get, these just did not want to come off. So I'm going to have to magic eraser that, see if I'm hoping it doesn't take the blue off the bed, but we'll see. And this is another bin of clothes that I knew I had in the basement. So I figured while I'm in this, let me just do it. Let's go all the way. Once that train has departed, let's just finish it off before it gets to the destination. Let's get the clothes back in the closet. I didn't want to have to go look for another bin later. And like I said, I was out of bins. I filled that bin right back up. So I had some things laying around in here, stacked up in piles that I knew had to go either back on the wall, or some new things that we put on the, needed to get put on the wall. So I'm using the command strip. They're great. This command strips Velcro that you just put it on one side, put it on the other side. It's really great for like these lightweight things, but I've even used them for heavier picture frames and stuff, and they work so nicely. So I'm getting some of this stuff back on their wall. The J and the A is actually from Jack's name. When we first made him this room, he had his whole name spelled out, J-A-C-K. But now that Jack and Angelo share a room, I just took the J for Jack and the A for Angelo, and I put the C-K in the draw. So that is dual purpose. It worked. And so getting this stuff back on the wall, getting some newer pieces that Jack's recently got that he wanted to display up on the wall. And this I'm excited for. This is a rack that I bought, and the intent behind this was to get their uniforms for the next day up and off the floor, and it worked out great to kind of have a place where they can put their uniform the next night. So to know we have all the pieces, the socks, the hats, the pants, the shirt, and everything hung up, and you'll see it towards the end of the video. But it's nice to have everything hung in one spot. That way when everyone's screaming, you know, right before it's time to leave for the game, I can say it's hanging on the rack. Thanks so much for hanging with me today. I hope you got some inspo. I like the after way more than the before, and I'm hoping that it stays this way at least for a couple days. I mean, maybe even a week. Oh, that'd be so nice. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.